is freedom, and I'm here trying to free them. I'm NY Oil, and I'm trying to tell you, no need to speak truth to liars. No need to speak truth to power. Why? Because power know the power, what the truth is. That's why it's in power. What you wasting time speaking truth to power for? Y'all speak truth to power. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we know that already. Mm-hmm. No need to speak truth to liars. Why? Because liars already know what the truth is. That's why they're lying. Mm-hmm. Who did the truth need? Who need the truth? I got to speak truth to the troops scared to walk through the fire. To the ones that's all y'all that's scared to step out and be like, yo, this is what got to get done. I'm scared of it, but I'm not going to be too scared. Why? Because the fire ain't fire. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you think. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you that your heart is the side. Your heart is the kingdom. What's in that heart that make you think, I need to be this. I need to make this happen. That's what is the side. That's the king. That's the Godhead right there. That thing is inside. The thing that you can't, that's not your mind. It's something else that's speaking in your head. It's not, I'm hearing voices. No, it's the thing that's you. It's the actual you that's experiencing it sometimes that don't even have control of it because your animal mind, your primal, your nature, is trying to do stuff like sleep and screw and eat and drink. But it's the inside you that's like, yo, this is what I want. That's the side. That's the Godhead inside.
Malik's First Job Podcast, here to answer any questions that y'all ask. Financial literacy and resources. Parents and young people becoming bosses. CEOs, future leaders, entrepreneurs. Conferences and boardrooms getting sponsors secured. If you want generational wealth, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip with information to help. Malik's First Job Podcast. Malik's Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Kerwin Phillip. Malik's First Job Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Generational wealth.
All right, peace. What's going on, people? How you feeling? This is Kerwin Phillip again with another episode of the Malik's First Job Podcast. Today we're doing a little bit different. We are in person, live in the flesh, right? I got my man right here, you know, who needs no introduction. I'm gonna introduce himself.
I need an introduction. Everybody looking at me like, who scrams right there? So I'm gonna have to get an introduction. What's up, y'all? It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim. One half of the legendary rap group, the UMCs. Blue Cheese, one to grow on, you know what I'm saying? All that sort of thing, trying to set it straight, on and on and on. I also am known as NY Oil Ideal, you know what I'm saying? Reinventing myself to become something other than what I was, to deliver a message that needed to be delivered. So y'all may know me from songs like Y'all Should All Get Lynched, You're a Queen, What Up My Wigger, and you know, so many others that I put out under that moniker. Right. And now I'm Kool Kim, who's doing his thing on Instagram with the 1 minute takedowns and my travel vlog and just catching the vibe with everybody and just trying to do productive things that unite hip-hop and entertainment in a way that it hasn't been done in some time, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good. You know, thank you for coming on the podcast, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad that I finally earned up enough experience points to have achieved an opportunity to sit and be on Malik's First Job Podcast, you know what I mean?
No doubt. So let's kind of take it back, right? So I guess, a lot of people know you from music,
yes.
Right? Now, how did you get started in music?
Funny, I had a conversation with my mother the other day, and she was, I was kind of lamenting on the fact that I could have done any number of things effectively and successfully,
right?
Because my scope of skill sets encompass a lot of things in it. But they're directed now in my life for the most of my life towards music. But I was like, man, I could have been a politician. I could have been any number. I could have been the CEO of a company. Mm-hmm. But I had this thirst to be, this bug, this need to be entertaining people. And she said to me, I take responsibility for it. I was like, nah, She's like, nah, because even when you was a kid, I used to have you like, come on, dance, roll the dance. I need a little money when you dance at the bar and all like that. And he said, I think I started that mentality for you. Right. So I guess, it's not so much about when you get on, mm-hmm. It's as much about when you have the desire to become.
Okay.
So I guess I had the desire to become at a very young age, man.
Right. Okay. So from that young age, how did it transition to you? I guess forming UMCs and stuff like that.
I met some cats, man. I'm a doer.
Okay.
And so, and for those who are doers out there, you may be experiencing this to some extent, that time in your life when you're trying to achieve something. But, you're not able to achieve it with the people around you because they may be dreamers,
Right.
they may be idea men, they may be, procrastinators, whatever attribute adequately describes how they get down.
Right.
When you're a doer, you're like, yo, let's get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's some cats that like they'll never get anything done because they needed to be absolutely perfect because whatever fears they have, limit their ability to just be like, yo, let's go get this, man. Let's go make it happen.
Right.
I'm a doer, so I come from a grain that's like, yo, fam, all right, we got the general idea. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the idea. Or this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. Let's work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And let's make things happen. And so, that was my situation when I was about 14, 15, and I was rocking with these cats, man, and they just wasn't trying to do anything. And I was like, yo, let's go. Let's work hard. Let's make a record. And I never forget, man, one of my dudes, you know what I'm saying? My dude Kevin, Crucial K, he was like, must have got tired of me, kept saying, yo, let's make a record.
Right.
Like, all right, man, you want to make a record? Let's go make a record. Let's make a record right now. Let's go make a record.
Right.
I was like, oh, all right, my man. You know what I'm saying? No problem. After that, I never messed with them no more because I felt like they was belittling my drive to make it happen. Like, so I understand it ain't as simple as we just gonna go make a record, but so we're not even going in the studio to make no songs. And like that's not. And so subsequent to that, I met Haas while I was working at Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
So we both worked at Statue of Liberty in New York. In the concession stand, and meeting him and then getting to know him, we found that we were compatible in the way of, having drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the willingness to support one another in the endeavor. And so that's really what made that transition. So then I had and that's why I say you don't have to have an army, but be like, yo, once we unify as a people, then we will be able to achieve. It's like, yo, you don't really need to unify as a people. All you need is one or two cats that's about it.
Right.
If a cat can meet you in your drive, if your drive is real, it's not, again, this goes out to people, and don't assume that that's you just because, you think that you're doing something. You gotta, it's something that it's if you're somebody that does these things, like, yo, I put in work, I made things happen, but nothing's happening because you don't have the team around you that's like, yo, I just need that one or two people that see eye to eye with me, that we have a similar vision, and we can just agree to how to get there together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And once we get that, realize that, then it's possible, because me and my mans did that. And we were 16, 17, 18, 19. 18, we got our first record deal. 19, we were getting signed to Wild Pitch. And 20, we were in the studio making that album. By 21, you knew who the UMCs were. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about 5 years of pushing forward.
Right.
5 years. As a kid, like, think about that. At 16 years old. Like, we talking about financial literacy, and then with the emphasis on young people, and then you wonder to yourself, damn, where's those kids at that have that sort of drive to be, like, we're not talking about to get on the internet and working, which is still in and of itself is a job, but, we had to get on the train and the bus and take hours and to get someplace by public transportation at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, performing all hours of the night, all sorts of places where, things could have went south for us. We was doing that, man, you know what I'm saying, and making a name for ourselves and cutting our teeth out there till we got there. And that's how that was, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you said, did you have a deal before you had you?
Yeah, we were signed to this Rough Luxury Records.
Okay. So, speaking about, literacy and stuff like that, I guess, who did you have, did anybody help you when you were doing the contracts and stuff like that?
We had no, really, in essence, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people in this day and age, yo, see, y'all was stupid, y'all was not that.
Right.
It wasn't like that then. You see what I'm saying? Like, one, a really important thing that we have to provide to our children, if we're going to even consider financial literacy or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we have to consider the part that says access.
Right.
Access is one of the biggest things that define the disparities between successful and non-successful people. It's, a person can have a half-assed job but have all the access in the world, a half-assed idea, and have all the access in the world, and it just seems like they doing that. You know what I mean? A person can have brilliant ideas that would revolutionize whatever it is that they're endeavoring in, and they have no access. and they just seem like a failure. It's not that. It's access and lack thereof. If I don't come from a family where, you don't come from a family where access to legal or legalese or lawyers or any of that is reasonable, it's not like, I work at the, in some cases you hear stories that, my mom's worked at the law office, so the lawyers was going to make sure that I was good because, their family, she's in their business family. They're not going to jerk her like, I got your son, that's your good kid, we'll sort him out. It's another story when it's like, you some kid off the street, you trying to find, you going through volunteer lawyers for the arts, because that's what we had to do.
Okay.
So we went through volunteer lawyers for the arts to get in, I almost forgot that, to get our first lawyer. So it's volunteer lawyer for the arts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, then even when you start getting in the game, if you're not coming in the game with enough strength, it's like if you don't know the right people, again, access. If you don't have the right relationships, and that's another thing that's important. And these intangibles that people don't think about is relationships. Right. Relationships to, provide access. I have great relationships with people. People like me. So when they think about something, they'll be like, Kool Kim, let me holler at you. I was talking to my mother about this before I was coming up here, about what power really is. It's not having money. Power is the ability to exert influence. You know what I mean? And generate movement of some nature through that influence. Okay. I was talking about one of my good brothers, Eldridge Shaw, since my man's from the grain, like childhood friend. And Eldridge like the consummate fast talker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Good? Everything good? Feel good? Everybody good? All right. Oh, man, take it. Holler at me. That's how he is, right? It's hilarious, But beautiful brother, beautiful energy, beautiful spirit, giving, all that kind of stuff. But he's a networker. He's somebody that like he connected with people. He don't have any prejudice in that either. So what happens is like he the type of cat that he'll be like, if I was in New York right now, I'd call Eldridge and be like, El, what up, man? I'm in town, man. I need some place to stay. You got any connection? All right, hold on. I got a spot for you at Marriott. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be $20 a night. Can you handle that? Because if not, just let me know. Because I can just work it out. Tell my man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? They think you sitting in the Marriott in the penthouse, like, how did this happen? Right. Power. Right. It's just a different way that it's exerted, and because we don't understand it, because it's always wrapped in the idea that it has to be financial to be matter. We don't know how to use actual power, and we don't understand the actual power that we have. Right. So if you don't even understand what your power is, your power base is, how do you monetize it? How do you utilize it? How do you market to it? How do you develop it? How do you build infrastructure, institution around it? Because you don't even understand that you have that. Right. And so, again, not having those relationships, not having that access, limited our ability to exert any sort of power, and the real power was in the hands of people that were already in that world. And so when you went to sign contracts, you were at a disadvantage. Right. Because everybody was in bed with each other except for you. You know what I mean? And that's just how it was in them days. And that's how it is in these days, to be quite honest. It hasn't changed much.
Now, why do you say that?
Because they still have these 360-degree deals. They call them 360 deals, where the labels are getting, now they're not just getting record sales, because there ain't no such thing as record sales anymore.
Right, they're getting streaming.
They're getting your streaming, they're getting, they want concert money, they want a little bit of everything that you're doing now. You know what I mean? That's already been merchandise publishing. They want a taste of everything. Right. And what basically the record labels are doing, the functioning as an administrative arm, and and a promotions arm. So you're in a space where it's one of the few industries where the product is valuated lower, or the producer of the product, their income stream is lower than the person that's promoting the product. Okay. An ad agency ain't supposed to get the same money as the manufacturer gets. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not in standard business that you would expect to see happen. In this case, the marketing agency gets considerably more, and they put things in your contract like in perpetuity. Like that means that they'll have rights to what you're doing, or even control forever and ever and ever. So their kids, and kids. So now your kids, though, they don't have that, and now they're limited in terms of being able to access the generational wealth that you put the work in for. And I think that when we start talking about financial literacy and youth, then we have to take a moment to consider the grave crime that's been done to our community.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you this: what does Black America export? What's our claim? Like, Chinese. Like, let's say the Chinese got Chinese food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got Chinese food.
Right.
Italians got, Little Italy. They got Italian food. A lot of them is in. We're not gonna say no mafia. Let's say that they do have businesses that they develop.
Right. And
they're in construction and stuff like that. So you see a lot of them, especially in the new, when they're like that. A lot of Arabs got a lot of this, and the other ones got the hair industry, like all these different things. What do we got like that?
The industry that we control?
Yes.
No, I would say entertainment, but we really don't control entertainment.
And let's vibe on that for a minute.
Yeah.
When you think about that, we supposed to control the entertainment industry.
It all comes from us.
We're exporting entertainment, fashion, culture. Style. These are all things that they have value.
Right.
They have more value than virtual things like the internet and stuff like that, in truth, because those are the things that drive the value of social media sites and all of that.
Yeah.
Facebook is $1 billion industry. And yet, how much stake does Black America have in it? But meanwhile, it wouldn't be crap without Black America, right?
True.
But here's the thing. Black America doesn't have no infrastructure, and it doesn't have any institutions. You understand? And because it doesn't really have those things, and because we lack the understanding of power, as I was alluding to before, right. We're not taking advantage of this export. We don't even recognize really that is our export.
Right. This
thing influences the entire world. You know what I mean? And so we sign contracts every day where these labels have basically stole all of these artists.
Pretty much intellectual property.
Yes, and in so doing, again, limited their ability to pass on generational wealth. And most the artists are having situations where they are getting some money in the present moment. But after that run is over, it's as if they never did it. And now they're struggling to get their hands on maybe some publishing or some things that they maybe do.
Right.
Now, what happens to these kids that they're raising that could have went to the finest schools to develop and have access and relationships and have an understanding intrinsically of financial literacy because their parents would have been in that world? What happens to their entourage, that all these people that they could have built an amazing financial group, like just a pod of people that, this is my team that we all develop and understand, but they can't do it because their financial ecosystem that they could have made is cut off at the knees because this record label has stole everything from them, and that record label now funnels all of this money that's generated by Black artists, young Black men and women, into things that support their cultures and their people and their,
Right.
And so their kids go to wonderful colleges and have great opportunities and all this other stuff, whilst my kids, they had to struggle.
Right.
And so, again, that means that there is an entire billions of dollars are being taken from the Black American experience and the Black community in general,
Let me ask you this. Now, of course, now we're in the age of information, and I think we were speaking last night when, I guess, we see that artists, like a lot of artists today, look at what happened in the past, right? And they kind of change their practice. Like, we have a lot of young people now that want to come out independent and not deal with the different record labels. They want to go straight to the internet and go straight to consumer and cut out the middleman. Now, do we see an increase in that type of relationship or that type of movement as opposed to what being done in the past?
My understanding is increasing, and there's some great success stories that are driving more people in that direction,
Right.
you know. But again, one of the things that we make a mistake on is why I commend you for the work that you're doing with Malik's first job and just all of the offshoots of that, is that you're willingly sharing the information. And that is the part that, my brother Doggy Diamonds, he was making a point about that as well, is that, you know, cats don't owe anybody anything, but at least you should have the duty to provide the information, the education to the people trying to come up. Like, it's like, yo, fam, I don't want to do what you did. I want to do what I'm trying to do. But but the thing that you did and the thing that I'm trying to do are similar enough that they live under the same sets of rules. And I need access to understand those rules. Could you give me the instructions?
Right.
You don't have to sit down with me personally, but could you provide the instructions or in some form or fashion so that I can emulate that and then use that as my success model to achieve my own endeavors.
Right.
But we kind of got this thing, and I'm sure these are the type of things that originate in slavery and all of that sort of thing, where we hoard information and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm laughing because I was listening to something this morning and somebody was building the same thing.
Yeah, because you it's a matter of survival to get better treatment than somebody else.
Right.
It's a matter of survival for me and you to walk into a space and people perceive me as a nice person, a clean-cut person, an affluent person. Something pop off. I want them to look at you before they look at me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a big black man, and then he got bald head. You know what I'm saying? Look how the size of him. No, he's a nice one. He's a nice guy. You know what I mean? No, he's got a nice little hat on, and
yeah,
whatever that is. But you know what I'm saying? Just the whole point of, I think it's a survival mechanism for us to be stingy with everything that we got, because we come from a space and place where resources are limited.
Right.
Access to the relationships, all of that are not there. And also there's a lot to be said for people's general lack of reverence and respect for the things that a person has that they can offer. So if I have knowledge and you asking me for my knowledge, you don't have no respect for the knowledge and what it took for me to get that. Like, I've been in the music industry for over 35 years.
Right.
What I know has value.
Right.
It has great value. The value just in terms of the money that was spent now, like, would be probably millions of dollars, or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars easy, that have been spent to learn the things that I've learned and experience the things that I've experienced, and then share that with somebody. There's value. So at very least, if there's no reverence for that value, and reverence doesn't just mean somebody, hey brother, can I? It's saying, yo, this brother gave me that knowledge. I have prospered from that knowledge. Let me reach back to that brother and provide him opportunity based on my success that I achieved through his hard work.
Right.
I'm standing on that man's shoulders.
Right.
So at least let him see that. I can see further. Come on, brother, we're going to walk that way because I seen it. Not, you see where it's at, you pee on his head because you stand on his shoulders, hop off, and then you just make the dash the way you going because you seen what you needed to see. You're going to leave him out because you think there's only room for you.
Right.
And when we can get past that, and I think there's a lot more brothers and sisters that will be willing to share insights and information, because they won't be stuck with the fear that someone's going to mistreat their efforts and their kindness. Because they say no good deed goes unpunished. That ain't no lie, man.
So what can be done to kind of get past or to eliminate that whole hoarding and selfish mentality amongst people?
Somebody that's a giver got to win. An unlikely Lester got to win. And without, not to be facetious or make anything about me, and I'm not. That's what I'm out here trying to do.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to win as a good person. That show love, that show support, that's giving, kind. I'm not I handle mine, and I do anybody dirty like the next person could. But it's not, you don't have to be saintly to be a wonderful person. I think that people that had the capacity to do dirt, to be harmful, to be evil and mean and cruel, but choose to be kind and generous and giving and forgiving, and those are the people that you have to look at. Like, yo, son could do you dirty, but he not even doing you like that. Son could violate you, or he could put you in a bad position or play you, or lie to you, and he not doing that. He really trying to give you right knowledge, or he really trying to be there to support within his means. I'm trying to be that and achieve some sort of success that has enough value that people can look at it and it would inspire more people to do the same. If people see that, yo, Kool Kim jumped up and traveled up and down the East Coast, just kicking it with brothers and vibing with the sisters and all of that, man, and then, as a result, he was able to parlay that energy and that vibe into this other thing that, created something else. You know what I mean? People going to do the same thing just because they seen it done and it worked.
Yeah.
That people are always looking for success models.
Right.
So if we could provide success models that are built around the ideals, the morality, and the value systems that we want to promote, then that's how you change, the hoarding mentality, the secret mentality, that, you can change that because people are seeing that, somebody won and they didn't keep the secret. Somebody won and they didn't hoard their resources. They freely gave those resources, and look what's come of it. Maybe I should do something similar. And I'll show you how deep that goes. Russell Simmons talks about, give. Keep giving, be a giver. So that's how you get. So give to people. So I'm trying to give something to people, and I see in small ways how it's giving back. Just the blessing of this journey that I'm on now. So many people are, son, you stay with me, God, da. That's because I'm giving people just, if nothing, at the very base level, good energy and positive, and encouraging, words and vibes. So people feel like, son, you welcome to my home, my personal domicile. Or, son, you going to be here, don't worry, I got you, I'm going to send you something. Like, wow, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's heavy. But that's, what you're seeing is the give manifests itself in the get. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's what giving gets you. You know what I'm saying? When it's done right enough, and if it's done, without being overly intentional. It's just like, let me just hold, look how people can sense when somebody's on it like that, when somebody's a good lookout. And to those people that's in that space, keep in mind that, it's all right for you to give hoping that something comes of it. Like, that's, a lot of people, you're supposed to give and not even worry about what happens. No, because then you start giving people valuable resources that don't deserve those valuable resources. And then when the person that deserves the valuable resource comes along, you don't have to give them, or you've been once bitten, twice shy now.
Right.
So, you should expect good things to come from giving people, giving of yourself and being kind, because that's not the giving. That's not how it is in this world. How it is in this world is people get murdered and killed and kidnapped and raped and brutalized and misused and scammed and hustled and tricked. That's what the norm of this world is.
Right.
That's what's happening every day, all day. People coming to the rescue, being there to hold you down, having an ear for you, a shoulder for you to cry on, like shit like that's brought stuff like that is not common. You understand what I'm saying? And so, we need to cherish that, and that has to have value, and you should have a valuation for that. And if at the very least your valuation is that I need to give this energy to people who are going to do good things with it. So even if that good thing isn't for me particularly, that's okay. But that good things are going to come up. That good is going to be in the atmosphere, the same atmosphere that I'm living in.
Okay.
Then that's okay. It would be nice if doing good things for people manifested in a reciprocal relationship with people, and it should be that way. It should be, because we should. One of the reasons why, because see, this is there's financial literacy, right? And then there's an ethic that drives the ability to even achieve finances.
Okay.
And so if we don't have an ethic where how we conduct ourselves in the business we do, you don't even get to a point where finances become anything of any real merit.
Okay.
You can't create, like, because you don't have the ethic. Like, for example, people in the construction industry, you know what I mean? My wife is a millwright, 740, local, you know what I'm saying? And so she do a thing. In that community, she worked with people who they're on the job. It'd be them, their kid, and their grandkid, all on the same job, passing it down from generation to generation.
Right.
They raised with the ethic to have value in how dad earned his money.
Right.
And I need to go out there and get this bread, and then they go, and then they, so when they put them on, they come with the ethic of, yo, I need to create a situation that my son can come to work and be able to take care of his family and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, and if we don't develop that, then you don't have those legacy things. No, what we have is we have kids that's like, nah, I'm gonna go to college for liberal arts. Nah, son, like, nah, that's not what's happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could do that. You could go to college for liberal arts as a side thing.
Right.
But you could go get this job, this legacy job that I got you, that's going to be $21 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to do $60,000, $70,000 a year, easy, while you there. Meanwhile, you could go and fund your liberal, you just pay for that liberal arts degree you're trying to get.
Right.
And you could do your thing, and then when you get done with that, you can make your move on that. But, you know, you got to know what side your bread is buttered on. But if we don't have a sense of values that inform our decisions, then a lot of things are very difficult to achieve. If we don't have a sense of values that narrate how we conduct ourselves between one another, then how does the trust and the unity ever come about if people are too scared that, that's what happens when you mess with black people. That we say that too much and mean it.
Right.
We say it too much, mean it, and it's true. Too often.
Right. Malik's First Job, Financial Principles for Teens, is an excellent resource to get your children started on understanding the basics of financial literacy. This book, which is set in Brownsville, Brooklyn, about a young man who gets his first job and then shortly thereafter sits down with his dad to learn how to manage his money. There are several topics that are covered within this work, such as paying yourself first, disciplining your spending, knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, creating multiple sources of income, as well as the importance of being charitable. So again, if you want to get your children started on understanding finance and becoming responsible adults, we highly recommend that you purchase the book, Malik's First Job, Financial Principles for Teens. So please visit maliksfirstjob.com to get more information. Peace.
So,
I remember, like, I was getting some work done at the house, and it was a Latino company that came through, and, as I guess the one guy was fixing my windows, like he was replacing some windows, and then one of the other guys that was on the job was the guy's uncle. He came to me and was like, look, I could do some of this around the house, some landscaping stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he trying to piggyback off,
yes,
off that job to come get something for himself. And then, when you call the office, it's the person's wife. So it's like the uncle, the cousin, the brother, the son, they're all doing the work, but then the family's also
all locked in.
All locked into the same business, right?
And see, let me just cut you there real quick, because now here goes another thing that will come. Let's go back to relationships. Relationships. So in the Bible, it talks about having being with someone that's equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? And to that extent, how I understand it is to be like, similar backgrounds, they have similar understandings, similar values, similar morality, financially in a similar space. Because here it is, when it's time to make moves, you don't want to be with no man that, let's say the woman come up with an amazing idea, she start putting something together, and the man got his hands crossed, he just, I'm just going to go ahead and work at Pizza Hut, and this one, I'm just getting my money, that's how I'm paying these bills, so that's what I know. Instead of being like, on the swivel, watching what this woman's doing, baby, you on to something, what do you need me to do here? Or matter of fact, you know what, let me go do my research,
right, and
do my diligence about this so I can be
a resource
for you. Let me, I see, oh snap, I see what play you running. I know what route she running. So I'm there, Time she look up, the ball gonna be
right there.
wow, he knew what route I was running. Let me go. I'm empower those that are making power moves. Like for me, you know, and sadly, I hate to say it about my own family, but you know, I like my kids would rather go outside to try to find something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, fam, you try and find something outside of here, and so you letting these people use your resources and short you to the extent that you come in here to me to ask me to help you help them. Meanwhile, though, I got whole businesses that if you just lent your skill set to, these things would be $100,000 businesses. Bouncy house business, $100,000 business, easy. You know what I'm saying? You get you about 4 or 5 bouncy houses. That's what business I own. You will, you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not hard. It's not hard business. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do a whole seminar on it. And, you know, I'm
So what drove you in that direction into the bouncy house?
Because it was you know, I like anything that brings joy to people. So the fact that the babies is gonna have fun, that's dope. You know, seeing it blow up, that's right. A dope look. Simple, straightforward.
Okay.
You know, like you say, you buy a bouncy house for $2,000, $3,000, you get a nice commercial size bouncy house, right? And let me say, I didn't even start with those size. I bought the smaller ones at the $700, the $500 ones, the little ointments that you would generally buy for like the toddlers and stuff. Yeah. Boom! I put them joints. My first year, I put them on Facebook Market. Okay. Facebook Market, and you know, $100 to rent it. You know, for the ones with water, $125. So now, if you pay $500, you say you pay $700 for your bouncy house. Yeah. Let's say you get to rent it 2 times a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You know, if you're good, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right. $300 every weekend. All you're doing is bringing the bouncy house, press it, blows up, set the water up. If it's a water slide one, if not, put the little bouncy balls in there that they want the little. Then you go home. And then when the appointed time for you to come, you go in there and pick it up. Hey, everybody have fun? Yeah! All right, great. We're going to bust it down for you. Bust it down, make sure there ain't no rips or nothing in your stuff. Of course, obviously, you sign a contract. Yeah. And this is $100. You fold your joint up, put it in the bucket, bring it home, and put it away till the next time somebody want it. Yeah. Yo, after 2 weekends, you done made your money back. Right. Then after that, everything that comes from that is all profit. So you only striving for 2 weeks to make sure that 3 weeks, depending on how good your promotion game is, to make it happen. And more than one person does this in my community, and yet all of us is doing our numbers. It's not even a thing. So again, I'm saying, yo, you in a situation where it's like, yo, like I have 3 small bouncy houses, and did a $700 weekend. You understand what I'm saying?
Like with different locations.
And multiple locations. And some people wanted to hold on to it next year. So we did $700 in one weekend. Wow. So from Friday to Saturday, to Sunday, $700 with 3 bouncy houses. That's insane. And when you realize how, the things ain't even much bigger than, it's insane that you can make that kind of money. And you're like, yo, you trying to show it to your kids, like, yo, fam, like, don't think I'm doing this because I think this is cool. Right. I'm saying this works, and it's not demanding. Right. We could do this if you just working. You basically just working on the weekends. If you got your game right, you might work even if you're working all week. Yo, you go there, you spend about an hour to set it up. You spend about an hour to bust it down. 2 hours out of the day. Yeah. Who gets $100 for 2 hours out of the day within the normal scope of things? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if you get the bigger commercial size, you're doing $250. Wow. So here's $250 for the boom, commercial, same, they're just way more. So, you're just going to have to be about it. And you got to, like, you weighing like this 3 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. You got to move around. Mm-hmm. But you got dolly cards for that. Okay. So you do that, boom, you set up, boom, here you go. $200, $300. Again, it don't take $300 a rental. Mm-hmm. How many rentals does it take to earn the $2,500 that you know what I'm saying? So 10 rentals, you're already in the green. You already make profit. Yeah. You 500 up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really rocket science, and there's so many things like that. So I'm sure some of the viewers are like, something go or do a rental thing. Yeah, go do that. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm not even being I'm saying numbers and everything. Why? Because why not?
Yeah.
It's not gonna encroach on nothing that I'm doing.
Right.
Go get that money. It's out there. You know what I mean? Go boat rentals. Matter of fact, you want to really make some money, you can mess around and rent the stuff in your house that you ain't using. Yeah. Tools.
Yeah.
Got a table saw in the house you ain't using. You did the project already with it. You bought the table saw, did the project. You realize you ain't going to be doing nothing with that table saw no more. Put it on Facebook Market and rent it.
Wow.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? True rental, $50 a day. You know what I'm saying? If something happens to it, it's $450. You're going to have to pay me straight jacket. Here's your contract. I'll get your edge. You know what I'm saying? Whatever much you charge them, say $20 a day or whatever, let's say. Mm-hmm. And $20 a day, they renting it from you for 4 or 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So, you done made $100 off. And I'm sure you can rent higher than that. And your terms of rental could be whatever, but whatever you think you could get. But let's just say you just trying to constantly stay flipping your tools. Again, that thing making $100 a week for you, and it was just sitting in your house taking up space. Right. In fact, you was thinking about renting a damn storage shed and having a deficiency. You know what I'm saying? Having something that you got to pay out.
Right. Whereas
you could have this thing earning money for you, but it's just sitting in the storage shed now. Mm-hmm. Don't make no sense, fam. But having that mentality and then being able to pass it on to your kids is difficult in this world that keeps them confused, man. Got them chasing after dreams that ain't theirs. You know what I mean? Dreams that's not in the reality, the scope of the things that they doing. They sitting in the hood dreaming about a G7 plane or G, whatever it is that the plane is now. You know what I mean? And G-series plane, jet. It's like, yo, fam, you in the projects. Why don't you do your thing to scale? What's the scale that you can do these things with and achieve your goals and, what you try and achieve be a real thing?
But oftentimes, I guess when folks find themselves within those communities, I guess it's also, as you said earlier, access, right? You may not have the people around you, right, to kind of instill and support and nurture those type of visions and dreams. Remember, like kids, they have huge imaginations. You know what I'm saying? But oftentimes, those imaginations and dreams get killed because of the environment in which they're in.
Yeah, I think, though, that's a very real thing. Like, this, full stop. That's real.
Yeah.
I think that, the issue is that we're bamboozled and our priorities are screwed. There's people all over everywhere you go. That's an example of what to do and how to get there. And if you came with some level of reverence, they would teach you.
Okay.
But too many times people come to these situations and circumstances as if they're entitled to that information, entitled to the opportunity, that they don't have to put the real effort required to achieve those goals. And that's just not how things are. Right. The way things are is that you work hard, you show your humility, you show a sincere desire and drive to achieve the things, and you inspire people to help you, and you inspire people to want to work with you and do things. Well, that's how it works, especially when you're not coming from anything, when you don't have access, you don't have the relationships. Then you do the other things that a person does to make someone say, yo, I like that kid's style, man. I like what he's doing. You know what I mean? So it's important for us to raise our children above all with a humble heart, not humiliated heart.
Okay. See,
we're humiliating our children. But we're not teaching them humility, humbleness. Like, yo, fam, because humility is, to be humbled is somebody, putting you in a bad space. And then you having to be like, come to terms with your inadequacies. Mm-hmm. To have a humble heart is to understand that, yo, man, I'm no better than the best. I'm no better than the worst, and I'm not no worse than the best. Like, I'm capable, whatever. But at the same token, I understand in this human condition that the hard times that people around me are experiencing are just as real for me and right. just as possible for me as it is for them in their condition. And therefore, for the grace of God go out, that I'm not in that sort of state. And to avoid ever being in that state, I'm going to work hard constantly and consistently. For example, I am out here, y'all probably could tell by the backdrop that we in the Trap House Hotel.
Right.
And I own my own house. Mm-hmm. Own. Not I own it as in I've got a mortgage. Like, I'm not leasing my house. Right. I own my house. Right. I own my vehicles. They're mine. No one's coming to get it. You understand what I'm saying? I own my studio. You know what I mean? I own this. I own more than one property. You understand what I'm saying? Like I own these things. Not. I get homesteader tax break. Now I don't pay owner taxes. I pay homesteaders. The difference.
Okay.
You actually own the property. And yet here I am. I have a jacuzzi. All right, that I'm building before I left. You know what I'm saying? And a deck for it. Like, I'm not rich. I have what I need to have that I don't have to go through this and be here. You understand what I'm saying? But my desire to achieve something more than medium, right?
Right.
Makes me humble to what I need to do to get there. And what I need to do to get there is swallow pride, have a humble heart, come do the work, be ready to do the work, be ready to go, and allow the work to happen. I'm on Malik's first job podcast right now because I am humble enough to do the work. I don't think that I'm bigger than the podcast. I don't think that I'm bigger than this hotel room. I don't think I'm bigger than anything. I think that I am on the journey, and these are steps within the journey. Okay. And so I acknowledge these steps, and I'm humble to them, so I do what I'm supposed to do in the context of that. And when you're in that space, a lot of great things can happen. And when you can't find that space, I don't know how well things go. I've not been in that space in times in my life, and things didn't go so well.
Right.
You know, where I brought my pride first. I brought my, no, I ain't doing that first.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? This is Kerwin Phillip from the Malik's First Job Podcast. Just a quick reminder, hit that subscribe button below and that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode when it drops. All right? Thank you all for supporting, and let's jump back into the conversation. Peace.
You ever remember that scene from, you ever remember making of the band, the infamous, I Want a Piece of Cheesecake?
Yeah. Going up from Harlem to Brooklyn with some cheesecake.
Now, let me tell you something. Right now, 50 years old, going on 51 in April. Let me tell you right now. If Puffy called me up right now, and we're like, yo, Kool Kim, I want some cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass to Junior's before it closed, and then walk that shit to my office over here. I'm like, yo, son, I gotta make a move. I got a boogie to New York. I got, I'm about 5 hours away. You know what I'm saying? 6 hours away, I got a boogie. Because I got to get to this cheesecake. And I got to walk that. Why? Because, yo, son, do you understand how many times you're going to walk to get some cheesecake with no hope of getting anything for it? How many times you gonna walk? How many you just walk to get some cheesecake just to do this podcast with me? Ain't nothing in this for you other than hopefully there's gonna be some viewers watching. Maybe a few more because you got somebody that somebody might know and be like, oh, let me hear what he's saying. Right. You just walk to get that cheesecake. Okay. Except it ain't even Puffy on the phone. You came to the Trap House Hotel. So why wouldn't you walk to get that cheesecake? You're not humble. You're humble to your mission. Yo, this is my mission. I don't care about what boy talking about. He can't. This dude can't. He's not sunning me. Right. I had to. Yo, son, I'm not even vibing on none of this. I'd have been huffing. Like, yo, man, why you walking so fast? Y'all gotta get the junkies, kid. Oh, son, you on it? Yeah, all right, I'm on that. Boom, boom. Yo, son, I'd have got back before he left, because he left. Boom. Yo, son, I got that cheesecake. Oh, he not here? Well, no problem. We put that shit in the refrigerator. That shit'll be waiting for him in the morning. I'm ready. Here, sir, I didn't get your name. Here's your cheesecake, boom, and some. So you looking at it as just another, like you looking towards the end goal. I'm looking at, yo, fam. All right, so you watch the Kung Fu movies. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to learn Kung Fu, brother. Chin Chin, I want to learn Kung Fu. Like, right. You're no good. Get out of here. He's like, brother. He's sitting outside the thing, brother, please teach me. Right. What's he doing? Is he humbling himself? Is that dude humiliating him? Or is he showing earnestness? I'm sincerely trying. I want this, huh? Trying to see how bad I'm not trying to come in here and be playing games with it. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm like, you're not, son, you can't go get somebody some cheesecake. Somebody that's you in $1 million studio with $1 million dude that got more eyes on him than you'll ever have on yourself. And you thinking to yourself, you got pride?
The ego.
What is the pride for? It's like, yo, son, I'm not, yo, man, you ain't got to boy cheesecake. Yo, son, go get me cheesecake. Nah, son, I'm not getting you cheesecake because you're nothing.
Right.
You have nothing to offer me. So there's nothing for me to do for you. Matter of fact, you go get the cheesecake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not going to worry about it. But boy had something to offer me. While he was asking me that, I was on MTV in front of the whole world.
Right.
I could have carried it the right way. Cash would have been like, yo, son, why you walk like that? Yo, son was on. Yeah, because this is business. It's an opportunity. I'm on MTV right now. I'm with Puffy. All the top artists is with this dude. There's people that's watching this right now that's gonna notice. They're not. You looking at it because you got stupid pride. So you thinking that I'm playing myself. Someone else is looking at it saying that boy got a work ethic. He understand what's real. He know what side his bread is buttered on. You know, work got to get done. I'm in the studio. They woke up every morning. There was a studio right there. Yo, I did an album in a week. How they was in there all that time? They wasn't even getting nothing done.
Yeah. So
of course you go walk to the thing or go get it, because y'all forgetting what you here to do. You tried so hard to get here, you here.
Now you chilling.
Now you chilling? You think you crossed the finish line?
Right.
You never crossed the finish line. I have #1 records. My poster hung on the wall of Martin Lawrence's thing for the whole show, the entire thing.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you ever watched Martin in the living room, you see that Fruits of Nature poster. That's his brother's album right there.
I have I reinvented myself on 2 occasions, and in both occasions I did amazing work that people like, yo, NY Oil is an amazing character that I created and lived and did amazing transformative things in people's lives.
Right.
And still, like I said, every day I had to be humble. Right now I am being humble because I want it. You don't think you're gonna go in the gym and you just gonna go in there with some arrogant business and then you think you're gonna get brolic? Right. Or you gonna have to look in the mirror and see like, yo, man, I'm trying to, look, I'm not where I wanna be at. I gotta get serious, man. I gotta be humble. Yeah. The gym dude screaming at, yo, come put that work in. Can't be looking at son yelling at me like he violating me. I gotta look at son he motivating me.
Right.
Work, let's go. Cause you said you wanted to be here. What are you willing to do? Matter of fact, what are you not willing to do? That's what I'm trying to find out. Because, yo, I'm trying to find out what is it that's going to stop you from putting in this work that you said you was with.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, man, that humility and people have, and I'm sure people might see it and, have their points of views but I guarantee there's nobody that can debate this with me. Right. There's nobody to debate this with me because at the end of the day, yo, you walk to get the cheesecake. Yo, as the UMCs, I told you, we started 16. We didn't get on and officially put a record out that had any mainstream, like that reached anything on a label of any value till we were 21.
It's 5 years.
That's 5 years. How many times do you think I walked to get cheesecake in that time?
Wow. How
many times from traveling to Staten Island to Harlem to perform at this club called One West every Wednesday? Every Wednesday, yo. For free. Just building up, cutting our teeth. How many times did I go to get cheesecake? How many times when I was going to the Bronx and being around Tony Rashan and them, how many times did I go to get cheesecake? Or when I was going to Long Island from Staten Island, 2 hours, 3 hours on the damn train to be up there with my brother Tyrone White and them in Kings of Pression on them trying to get on to that point. You know what I'm saying? Right at the periphery of PE, but not quite there. And but still trying to, you know what I mean? And how many times did I walk to get the cheesecake? I'm telling you, I did it. I walked to get that cheesecake 30, 40 times over in my lifetime. Easy. You tell me, you want to tell me they make that all I got to do. That's why a lot of people miss great opportunities because of that, man. Because they probably get in the way and they think that, I'll give you a quick one. Movie I was watching, Kung Fu Master.
Right.
He was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He's saying, he wouldn't take no students. Send them all away. I don't want them, huh? Brother Lou, please, give them a chance, huh? They're no good, right? So, he had, this year he was going to accept some students. The students come in, they go through. He had this whole gauntlet of things they had to go through.
Right.
Knocking mad students off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they got to jump over the little poles that's in the water, and someone's falling in the water, and they jump in the poles like a little pole will come out the side of the wall. You know, like no, brother.
Yeah.
So they got out there, man. If 100 kids came through, maybe 30 kids made it through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 100 kids entered, 30 kids came out the other side. Boom. And he went through all of that. Now they all sitting down. The master will be out shortly. Sit down, everyone. So everyone sits down. And the master comes out doesn't say a word, sits down. You know what I mean? The kids are looking at the master, you know what I'm saying? And the servants come out and start pouring tea for everybody. When he pours all the tea, boom. They pour the master's tea last.
Okay.
Yo, the kids is like, boom, drinking the tea. The master's sitting looking, you know, he just stood silently watching them. You know what I mean? One kid was just looking at the master the whole time, just like. And then the master at some point, you know, after watching what everybody was doing and stuff like that, the master pick up his teacup, boom, puts it down. And then the kid that was watching him all that time, then he picks up his teacup. And then he puts it, you know, drinks his drink and puts it down. All of you go home. Tell your parents that you failed and you're no good, except for you. Man, because Shorty knew the order of operations. Simple, yo, whoever his people were taught him a very basic science, man. Yo, you know what I'm saying? You don't come into somebody's house, you drink before that person drink. These are things that we don't even be thinking about. Like, you don't sit before that person sits. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you meet somebody, the other day I met our sister China Tanya's mom.
Okay.
I was in the middle about to eat. Boom, I'm stopping my boot, pull my stuff in the room, pull the chair out, let me stand up. Hey, how you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful house here. Thank you for having me here. You know, let me stop everything I'm doing. Let me show reverence.
Right.
Like, we don't have that.
Right. You know, it's funny. We just having a conversation. I was doing like a little men's conference over the weekend, and me and this other brother, he's from Philly, right? And we was talking about how, let's say back in the day, right? You know that the hood had an ecosystem and people had reverence, right? Cats on the block was doing whatever they was doing, but when they saw the elders coming down the block, I mean, if they was out there smoking weed, they put the weed out. I mean, if you're out there playing music, turn the music down. I remember when that joint, when the Who's the Man soundtrack came out, right? We was outside on the block chilling, and we was playing Party in BS.
Right.
By Big, it had just came out. We was like, yo, this joint is rocking. And I remember Miss Green, she was like an elder. He was like, yo, turn that down, yo. We had to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Miss Green, how you doing? And you know, she went inside the house. We waited. But then we didn't turn up as loud as we had it before. We had like a little bit lower. Because we know people started coming home and they want to hear all that.
They don't want to hear that.
And we thought they, you know, we was like cracking up. We was whispering, party. Because, you know, we didn't want to scream it out at that point.
Yeah.
But, you know, but at the time, you know, if you saw people walk in, you help with groceries. Hey, Miss Jones, how you doing? Let me get your bags for you. Take it to the house. You good? Da-da-da. I bet. Then you go back outside.
You go back to your BS. Like, yo, we going to do what we do. But we got the sensibility.
It's a respect. It's a respect factor.
You know, I give you an example. You know you're overdoing it when your moms catch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you playing with weed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You doing your little whatever. Your mom, you know, now you done got so sloppy with it that you done dropped the bag out your pocket in front of her. You done dropped weight in front of her. Like, my man, there's a reason that we have this reverence, and there's a reason we show respect and humility in certain spaces and places, because these things protect us.
Right.
They help us understand that, yo, there's, you know, discretion, deference. These are important things that we don't have in our community anymore. They've been wiped away because people is so low in self-esteem that they defer to pride and posturing. And it's not about that.
Right.
You ain't gonna posture to somebody that you ain't got it. They got it. What you gonna posture? What you gonna tell me? I own this thing. I do this. Right. You don't do this. You can beat your chest all you want. That's fine. But you don't do it.
Right.
You gotta come with a humble heart, fam, if you want to get with it, because you don't know how many times I've been humiliated doing this.
Right.
By not nice people who had no intention of giving me anything. Not knowledge, not nothing. Right. That I had to navigate and survive these people. Do you think that you're gonna have this arrogant mind and come and get what I had to eat crow for?
Right.
No. And see, and that's where, and these are the things to go back to the original point of what brought us here. When you ask what are the things we can do to stop people hoarding information and stuff. One of the things is that we have to be able to approach and ask for information, ask for support, ask for insights in a respectful way, in a way that says, I'm serious about this. I seriously want this information because it has a serious value in my life, and I value what you seriously went through to achieve this for me. So in my thanks, not only am I going to be a steward of this information that you gave me, but I'm going to bust my ass to make sure I do a great job and show you the value of what you gave to me.
Right. I think, we could be here for like all day building, chopped it up. You know what I mean?
And what's ill is we just talking about one side of thing. We only talking about just this little thing that we just discussed, and we can go on for hours just about that little thing.
Yeah.
Much less tapping into all the other things that come with discussing financial literacy, that is a part of raising up our children in an effective way where they will achieve the things that we hope that they can achieve beyond where we were able to get them. And we can go on for days, and this is why this outlet, your work, is magnificent and important, and I commend and salute you, my dude.
Appreciate you.
And I'm praying for every success for you because our community needs this so badly.
Right.
We need these conversations with the same eagerness and interest and urgency that we talk about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and all kind of fool crap like that go on. That don't have no real value and don't change nobody's life.
Yeah.
To the better at all. So we need to be able to have the time to have an in-depth discussion about this is one thing.
Right.
That is so important in the larger scope of things that have to happen, and be able to continue to have those conversations till we reach till we finish the book of these are things that are important that we need to now tighten up and take hold of, and change, the way that we are living and what we can offer to our children and what our children can offer to their children, and so on and so forth. Yeah. It won't take it in 3 generations. It won't take 3 generations for us to try turn the entire tide and tables on the things that oppress us, our open oppressor, those that wish harm on us as a community and as a people. It wouldn't take us 3 generations, but it would take 3 generations of some dedicated people to do real good work. Let me just give you this thought before we roll out. Yeah, I remember my man said, you remember Yusef Hawkins?
Yeah.
What year did he die?
That was what, is that 88, 89?
1989, the number. Another summer.
Mm-hmm.
Sound, Chuck D gave us the year. No, it might have been 88 though.
No. It was 89 because it was my freshman year of high school.
All right.
Yeah.
Boom. So 89, freshman year of high school, Yusef Hawkins gets shot and killed, or however he died. You know what I'm saying? He either was when they got ran out into the street, or
and that was Michael Griffin.
Michael Griffin got shot. Well, he got ran out into the street.
He got ran to the street.
Yusef Hawkins got shot and killed.
Bensonhurst.
So now watch this. In those times, I was the president of Black Awareness Club.
Okay.
All right. I was in my sophomore year, I believe. Might have been a junior. Yeah. Might have been junior or senior for that matter. But however, 89, 88, I was 17. So yeah, 89, I was already, So anyway, however that went, I was preaching that, brothers want to see a change in this, all this marching and singing. That ain't it. If you really mad about this, you gotta raise, we gotta, all us young heads that's seeing this, that's offended by it, we gotta go extra hard in school, go to college, and we gotta turn it up. Like, if you really mad, it's not about what you feel today. It's about what you're willing to do for the rest of your life to change this, because you're that pissed about it. Because dude got turned down by his girl when he was in 16, little Sally Rottencross. She didn't want to get with him. She chose, the fly guy. That, so now this dude got a chip on his shoulder for the entirety of his life and mistreat women and all kind of stuff. But when you sit there and see your own people get murdered on the street, you don't got no chip on your shoulder that says, I got turned up. And I'm gonna keep on turning up for the rest of my life. I'll never let them do that to another one. I'm gonna do everything I can to make that never happen again, right? But we don't think that way. So again, bad priorities, bad morality, like no values. Right. So, but we had that kind of vibes, right? But now think about this, 89, right? 89, let's call it 1990, just for the sake of discussion, all right? 1990. If everybody that was in in high school at that time, in 4 years they'd have been in college. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 years they'd had already got their masters or whatever. They could have been on their way to go like, yo, I'm gonna work to get my PhD, my doctorate, or I'm gonna go to law school, turn up the volume. You know what I'm saying? Get my business degree, good, whatever. You know, so I can have some right knowledge to share. We're gonna get serious about what they done. How many cats could have been in the law enforcement right now that would have been able to be like, yo, we infiltrating the legal system because we want to make sure that, yo, that you're not going to do this to our children without accountability. You know what I mean? How many of us could have been putting ourselves in position of power because we had that chip on our shoulder? Same one that you got when somebody did you dirty, but you never forgot it and you never let it go, and now you're going to treat somebody good in your life like shit because of what somebody did to you. But here it is, you can't think the same way, like I said. Now that's one generation. Our generation would have did it. So now you're talking 1989, 1990. Then now you got a 10-year-old generation that's out there at the same time, right? So by 1990 going into 2000, you got 20-year-olds now that was raised. They big brothers, they mothers, and everybody was locked in on that. They took them 10-year-olds, and they was like, yo, we college bound you, or we trade bound you. We putting you in a position that you're going to have the finances, and you're going to have the wherewithal to invade this, and to infiltrate these systems and these infrastructures that they have that they're using to perpetuate white supremacy and the like, and we going to overtake these cats. Boom. Now you got two generations in there. Two different generations, because the generations don't necessarily be like from I born my child, that's a generation. No, generations kind of get broke up sometimes by high school. Like just by for the 4 years in between, it's a whole different vibe. Yeah. Boom. After that, now you now we in 2000. Now from 2000 to 2010, we've been having kids while we was in college and all of that. So now we starting to raise our babies. You understand? On and on and on. Yo, you talking about 2010 to 2020, 30 years. Yo, we got at least, we got 50-year-olds, we got 40-year-olds, we got 30-year-olds, we got 20-year-olds. 5 generations of people that can right now have been infiltrating the system like the spook was sat by the door and make it so that it never was that way anymore. Right. But cats don't be dead serious about it.
You know, I remember, like, I think it was the documentary that Wesley Snipes did on John Henry Clark, right? Can't remember the name of it, but he was talking about how what happened in Hiroshima and how the Japanese, like, they didn't fuss, they didn't protest. Cats just went to school. They kept it quiet. They ain't say nothing. They just went from generation to generation. Just went to school, studied. Whereas now they took over the whole technology industry. You know what I mean? In other industries where they have a foothold, right? Where again we tie back to power, right? All these chips and stuff we get for our phones and the equipment comes out of Asia. You know what I mean? From the technology in which they develop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And because you had a society
that was on code.
That got on code after getting violated. We've been violated, we still ain't getting on that code. Boom. So now here it is, while you saying, yo, the Japanese is creating this, yo, all the technology you got, the chips in our phones is coming from, it's not really coming from there. The chemicals and the minerals that they use to make your screens and all like that, that's coming from Africa. Right. So the actual resources are coming from there. So when we start thinking about it like that, like, yo, wow, this is how serious it is. We're so not on code, right, that we're just constantly being the ones that just take this out. And no one's willing to say, yo, fam, maybe enough is enough now. Maybe it's, like, like, are we really mad or are we not mad? Like, are we really serious? Yeah. If we're really mad, yo, what are we going to do here? What are we seriously going to do? What are you really going to do on an everyday basis? You know, I talk to people all the time. They tell me the dream of hip-hop. It's been my dream. I dreamed this all my life. I always knew that I could just, I knew it's your dream. What you going to do, son? Like, what you willing to do? Are you serious? Because if you're serious, here's the work we got to do every day, all day. It took me 2 years to get from 2,000 followers on Instagram to 4,000 followers on Instagram. And then it took me a month to get to 12,000 because finally something hit.
Yeah.
Overnight success ain't overnight.
Yeah.
The revolution ain't gonna be overnight. The change that we looking for is not happening overnight.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen when it happens. And it's only gonna happen with consistent effort and a commitment that is transcendent of the time. It's not, it doesn't have to, you have to be so committed that you're like, yo fam, it's not even gonna happen while I'm alive to see it. And I don't even care. I just wanna do my part so that it will happen.
Right. Right.
That's it. I'm going to do what I can do so that I can push this car further enough away so that get the engine started. And if the engine could turn over, remember back in the stick shift, you could push it and it'll.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, yo, I'm gonna push this bad boy till we hit the hill and you can get it going. And yeah, the lava's coming from the thing. I'm trying to save everybody. The lava coming right on my ass, and then boom, and it runs over. It's like, hey, it's like, oh, there you go. And it's like, you see me trying to run from it. And they're like, but you got to be willing to be that guy.
Yeah.
And no one is willing to.
Right.
No one's willing because everybody is willing for themselves, kid.
Like, well, one more analogy that we're going to wrap up. I think, how long did it take to build the Great Wall of China?
Generations, didn't it?
So the first set of cats who laid the first foundation, first bricks, or set the ground up, they knew they weren't even going to see it.
They weren't even going to see it. They weren't even going to see it. And yet, in their mind, it was like, yo,
when it's done,
I'm so tired of the Huns violating. I'm so tired of them. They took my daughter. They took my son. They killed my wife. They raped and pillaged us. I can't have it. So I'm going to sit and bust this down and build this wall. Like, we're going to get this wall built.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to see it finished. But I'm so committed to these cats never doing this again to us that I'm willing to put it on like, yo, I'm just going to work to something I'm never going to see the end of. Wow.
So that my children's children
don't go through that.
Yeah.
They'll never see it. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize that there are people that have literally lived and died a slave? Like, there's no even that they lived, they were born into slavery. And I'm not talking about born into slavery like, yo, their parents wasn't slaves, but they was just captured and now, so the parent could at least tell them like, nah, so that's not really where we from. But no, their parents was born into slavery. Those people, 400 years, parents were in slavery. So you're well indoctrinated in slavery at this point. So you're born into that mindset. And you're going to die in that mindset. And then generations are going to go on afterwards until you find ourselves here. Yo, it's not even about being angry at the system and being hateful. It's about being angry at anything that you can allow into your reality that would thwart your ability to achieve what needs to be achieved in the long-term goals that are necessary for your people to see something better happen. You know what I mean? And I'm always, when I talk to people, I'm always analyzing, how serious they are about what it is they talking to me about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because, anybody talking to me about something, fam, you talking to me 9 times out of 10, I'm in the midst of being serious.
Right.
I'm trying to get it done. I'm not trying to play. I don't need nothing else. Because everything I want is on the other side of this work.
Right.
But, my last thought is this. I have a verse that says, no need to speak truth to power. No need to speak truth to liars. I got to speak truth to the troops scared to walk through the fire and show them what their heart desire. That their heart is the sire and their mind is Messiah. And the fire ain't fire, it's freedom. And I'm here trying to free them. I'm NY Oil. And I'm trying to say, no need to speak truth to liars. No need to speak truth to power. Why? Because power know the power, what the truth is. That's why it's in power. What you wasting time speaking truth to power for? Y'all speak truth to power. Well, yeah, all right. Yeah, we know that already. No need to speak truth to liars. Why? Because liars already know what the truth is. That's why they lying. Who did the truth need? Who need the truth? I got to speak truth to the troops scared to walk through the fire. To the ones that's all y'all that's scared to step out and be like, yo, this is what got to get done. I'm scared of it, but I'm not going to be too scared. Why? Because the fire ain't fire. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you think. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you that your heart is the side. Your heart is the kingdom. What's in that heart that make you think, I need to be this. I need to make this happen. That's what is the side. That's the king. That's the Godhead right there. That thing is inside. The thing that you can't, that that's not your mind. It's something else that's speaking in your head. It's not, I'm hearing voices. No, it's the thing that's you. It's the actual you that's experiencing it sometimes that don't even have control of it because your animal mind, your primal, your nature is trying to do stuff like sleep and screw and eat and drink. But it's the inside of you that's like, yo, this is what I want. That's the side. That's the Godhead inside of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is the Messiah. Your mind, once you get this thing disciplined right, that is the coming that you're looking for. That's the Christos that you're looking for, the Christ you're looking for. I need that to be, that's the thing that's going to get things lined up. Once my mind is in tune, because if I can control my mind won't stop me when I'm jogging and I think I need to stop. I don't have to stop because I got control over my mind. My body's going to listen. It's going to do it until I fall out. You know what I'm saying? Dude ran 100 miles. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody else stopped at 26 miles, which all them numbers is insane to me. You understand? 100 miles, David Goggins. You understand what I'm saying? My mind over the matter. You know what I'm saying? So my mind is the Messiah. And the fire ain't fire. It's freedom. I got to go through this fire because there's freedom on the other side. Once I go through the fire, yo, son, what can you do to me? Son, I've been through the fire, son. What do you got for me? What are you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do with me? I just ran. I've been running 26 miles every day. You understand what I'm saying? What you going to do with me? Come on, big man. What you going to do? You want to swear out? Let's go. I'm going to outlast you because you don't got the endurance for this. After the first few, mass needs mass and muscle mass. It needs oxygen. You're not going to be able to get enough oxygen to deal with me. I'm going to just whoop. I'm going to weave you a few times. Let you miss because miss is harder than a hit. Whoop. You try. I'm tearing your bread basket up because you ain't going to have it. Right. It's all right. The fire ain't fire. The work ain't fire. The fundamentals ain't fire. It's freedom. And we go through it and we start dealing with it like, yo, fam, I'm trying to get free. Where is the fire at? Yo, in sales, you know what they say? It's a numbers game. Yo, if 100 people going to say no, if you want to get $1 million, 100 people going to say, you got to ask 100 people, 99% people is going to say no. One person will say yes. Go in there. You can ask 100 people for $1 million. One of them will say yes, but 99 of them will say no. Right. What do you go out looking for?
Looking for them no's.
You got that going right. Where the no's at? I need 99 no's. Hey, can I get $1 million? No. Okay, got $1 million. No, $1 million. No. Give me the no's. Give me the no's. I want the no's. Because once, boy, I start running at 89, 90, I'm we getting there, boy.
Right.
Because that's what happened while that's happening. I started to learn how to ask it better. I know how to present it better. I started identifying better people to ask. Like, all this growth is happening walking through the fire. It started off, it just was embarrassing. Yeah. Now I'm learning techniques and means and ways and where to go and who to be around. All these things are being begotten and gained from this journey, this fire that I'm walking through. When I get to the other side of it, and I finally get that yes, I didn't get that yes because it was a number game. I got yes because I went through a gauntlet.
Get to it. And
I got to that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just tricked me and told me it was going to take me 99 people. The trick was that you were going to go through a gauntlet. You was going to become something more. You're going to be made out of stone. You're going to be made out of steel. So when we go back to talking about that making of the band, that was part of them 99 no's, yo. Yeah. Yep. That's what I think, for.
Yeah, that's just a mic drop after that. We got a mic in here we can drop.
Not when I'm not not that one.
Not that
one. Virtual mic roller.
Drop that water.
Right there, you heard?
I said, have you got drink right over here? Like, nope, not that one. Yo, we got to do this again. Because we even get, we on here for like over an hour. We even get to where we wanted to get to.
I mean, now we got to exactly where we meant to get to.
For today.
We got, because I'm trying to tell you, listen, this is the thing. It's the journey. I'm sitting up there thinking to myself, before y'all got here, I'm like, yo, damn, is this thing? I need to take my ass back home because this ain't really fruitful ultimately. Like, what am I doing? I'm just spending a lot of money that could have been used to do other stuff on being out here doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, where's the ROI here? Right. But I'm like, yo, it's only the first leg of this journey. What is going to you're getting what you need to get. What am I getting? I'm getting the opportunity to get out the house, see new people, engage, tough it out, toughen my skin. Mm-hmm. what happens? Somebody say, yo, all right, before I got on this journey, let me give you this right. This is on and on, right? But real quick.
Yeah.
Before I started this journey, sitting in front of my computer all day doing music, I went from like 200 pounds to 243. The time I got to Fayetteville and spent a couple of days there, I was down to 232. You understand what I'm saying? When I was back in Augusta, I was eating easy 3 meals a day, cake, candy, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Kind of stuff. And now I'm eating 1 meal a day. Not because I have to, because I'm like, yo, I just need one. I feel good. I feel light. I'm up for going. That's where we're going to go. We're going to walk. We're going to walk somewhere. We're going to I'm with it. Excuse me, back home? Yo, we're going to go over here. I'm all right, man. Yeah. All I was doing was on my Oculus all day reading manga. Laying down all day. Yo, I would sit down, I get up, my hips would hurt. None of this, I don't feel none of that no more right now. I would get up and go in the car, I would moan. I'm not even doing any of that right now.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you. So we got to know that wherever the journey taking us is exactly where we're supposed to be. The build we had today is the exact build that we needed to have for today. And it's the exact conversation that needed to be gotten. Yeah. And those that's going to get something from it is going to get something from it. And those that's not, it wasn't for them. And that's just going to be how it got to be. Yeah. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim. And I ain't saying nothing else.
Right. Now, real quick.
Yes.
So cats that want to reach out to you, what's your social media handles and all that? Where can they find Kool Kim NY Oil?
Kool Kim _NY Oil. Pretty much everywhere is worth finding me at. Or if you know what I'm saying, yeah, you know, I'm on Instagram, so find me there. If you're on TikTok heavy, I'm on TikTok. Kool Kim _NY Oil. Kool is with a K.
Right.
And yeah, find me there. You know
where can they find your music at?
Everywhere, like, you know, if you see this is the you know, search engine world. Just put Kool Kim in there, put NY Oil, and then you will find all kind of stuff if you trying to find it. Like, I don't even be, it's like, you know, whatever, man. You find me if you find me. If you serious, you gonna find me. If you're not, you're not gonna find me. I mean, someday, yo, so it's Kool, KOOL, KIM _NYOIL. That's what I'm free, man. Listen, man, if you trying to find something like, I'll be like, if I'm trying to find something, I'll just pause this video right there and be like, oh, hold on, let me go put, oh, there go, boy, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm saying? That's what it really is. When the student ready, the teacher come.
No doubt. But thanks again.
My man.
All right.
You're ready, cat.
Yes, sir. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Peace. What's going on? Have you ever wanted to get involved in real estate wholesaling, but just didn't know how? Well, my good friend Chris Jefferson has a whole course that he offers that teaches you all the ins and outs of real estate wholesaling. Look below in the show notes, you'll see a link that you can click on where you can get more information about the courses in which he offers. Show you how to get started in real estate wholesaling, you know, how to get leads, how to promote yourself online. So definitely look below in the show notes, click on the link, get more information, and learn how to build your business. All right? Take care. Peace.
Generational wealth.